Welcome to the Fragrance Files.
Welcome to the Fragrance Files.
So before House of Iyrah and having the fragrance brand, my journey with fragrance started all the way from when I was 4 years old. And as a child, my mom, she's anosmic, currently still is anosmic. As a child, she would have me describe fragrances to her. So I would smell the fragrance and I would describe the fragrance using different things that would help her understand. I would probably use like emotion and I would be like, okay, this makes me happy. This makes me want to puke. I don't like this one. This one makes me super angry. Or I'm going to use texture to describe it to her or colors pretty much because that is the best way that she could understand because she's never smelled anything. She doesn't know what smell is. She doesn't know what it feels like. And so for me, that was where my journey started. And I realized that for somebody who cannot smell, fragrance is a very important part of her outfit. And so that became a part of me. I went to a boarding school and in school I was known for how I smell. I was very keen on the fragrances that I wore. I think at that time I wore Timeless by
Mm,
Avon. I think it's by Avon.
yeah.
And there was the other one that had like a black, I can't remember what it's called. And then there was the Boss. I think Boss had one at the time as well. I remember my brother and my cousins had that one and I used to take it. And at the time, Nivea, they had like a body lotion that smelled so good. They had the feminine
Mm,
and the masculine, the white and blue bottles. I had both and I would wear them on different occasions. Mind you, at that time, I had no idea what it is that I was doing. When you compare that to where we are right now in fragrance, at
mhm.
that time, I was just like, okay, if I wanted to smell feminine, I'm gonna wear the body lotion from the white bottle. Or if I wanted to smell masculine, I will gravitate towards the blue bottle. At the time, I preferred masculine scents because, in my opinion, they made me feel very powerful. Now, smelling feminine was great, but I preferred like the other one. And then White Diamonds was like my go-to scent after that, high school, I went to college. White Diamonds was my thing. And Victoria's Secrets, I think they already had the body splashes at that time, and that was what I used to wear. The
Mm.
first day that I did a layering combo, I wore the Nivea body spray by Men and I sprayed White Diamonds. And it smells
Ooh.
so different. And I was like, hold on, what did I just do? I just created something different. You know, I'm not going to smell like everybody else. And
Yeah.
that was where, it started for me. And then I started to collect. Mind you, there was a period in my life where I was broke as hell.
Mm.
I would rather buy a bottle of perfume than buy something to eat. I always made sure that I had a bottle of perfume. But yes, that is my journey before House of Ira.
Amazing. Samira, thank you so much for joining us today. For those who don't know who you are, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Samira. I am the founder of a fragrance brand called House of Iyrah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
One of the early ins for layering fragrance.
Yeah. It truly is the way to customize your scent to make sure that you don't smell like anyone else ever.
That was the thing, to be honest, because for me, I was so particular. Because think about it, it's like an outfit. If you go to a party and you turn around and you see somebody wearing exactly what you're wearing, if you were on some type of high, for some reason it drops. Like you
Mhm.
start to feel a type of way because it doesn't feel as special as if you were the only person wearing that outfit at the party. For me, fragrance was like that. I don't want to smell like the next person. Obviously, fragrance is subjective. It smells different on certain people, but on your clothes, it's gonna smell the same, in my opinion, because there are no pheromones or, you know, anything to change that. So yeah, layering was something that I was.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned about like feminine versus masculine leaning scents because I feel like your bottles have this really beautiful femininity about them. And I was worried that when we brought them into the store, we always have people coming in and like, hey, which ones are for men, which ones are for women, and
Yeah,
trying to explain to them like, everything here is for everyone, whatever you like. And
yeah,
I'm really genuinely surprised and happy that so many men that come into the store are super drawn to your brand, especially to Nocturne. I think almost every single bottle of Nocturne that I've sold has been to a man. I'm like, these men smell good.
you know. You know what's crazy? I was in the store last week, and when I was leaving, some guy walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, you are the founder." I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "I own Nocturne and Symphony."
Yes.
Actually, I was like,
I
"Yeah."
love that. I love that.
One of the things that really stood out to us with your story and your brand was the role that your mother, having anosmia, played in your fragrance journey. And you talked a little bit to having to describe fragrance to her, even as like a child. So you kind of developed your palette in a way of describing fragrances to others.
Yes.
Can you talk about like when did you begin to think about fragrance through the lens of perfume versus just describing how something smells?
To me, there was always that switch back and forth. If I was describing something to my mom, it switched. That was me describing to her how that fragrance made me feel. So at that point, it was more of a feeling, because again, with the whole role that I play, which I took very seriously, by the way, um, I realized that there's more than what meets your nostrils. Perfume is what you're feeling. Perfume is what, like a memory. Like right now, I have L'Artisan, which is an ode to my dad. Right now, that is on heavy rotation because my dad passed away when I was 5 years old. And
Mhm.
Father's Day is approaching. I'm being very emotional because I am still a daddy's girl. And that fragrance right there is my dad. Like his room, this is exactly what it smells like. And so for me, every time that I wore a fragrance, if I was not transported somewhere, it's not for me.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Right. So to every time for me, it's always like fragrance has to be more than what I smell. Like as soon as I smell it, if I'm not describing something to you about what I'm gonna do with this fragrance or what this fragrance feels like to me, just know I'm not gonna pick that up. Like it's not
Yeah.
for me. So from that whole aspect of describing it to my mom, it just made me see fragrance from a different lens. Now, of course, if I see it, it's like, okay, this is me describing it and everything is taking me on a journey. And then there's a fragrance aspect to it. Is it long lasting? What is the protection? What is the longevity? I love long lasting fragrances. I don't want to spray a fragrance and have to worry 2 hours later and having to respray it. And that's what all my fragrances like strays. I just want to
Mhm.
spray and go on about my day. I come back home and then that's it.
I like that when you described how you were, talking about it to your mom and how you specifically said how it made you feel. Because I think that's a really interesting element, especially when we're talking about independent fragrances and niche fragrances, where it's, it's yes about smelling good. That's one aspect of it, but it's made to elicit a feeling.
Yes.
What are some of the feelings that you want your fragrances to elicit in people?
Honestly, every fragrance brings out a different emotion.
Hmm.
Like when I'm working with a perfumer, when I give them a creative brief, and if I'm jumping, let me know. But when I give them a creative brief, it's very descriptive, like it's very detailed. I actually describe the emotion I want people to feel when they smell that fragrance. Like L'Artisan, yes, is an ode to my dad, but for me, wearing L'Artisan, I want to feel very confident. I want to feel like if I walk into this room and I'm going for a business meeting, I'm going to close that deal. I want to feel remembered. I want you to remember me as that girl who smelled the best in the room. If I'm wearing Symphony, Symphony is very bright. The florals in there, the gourmand just makes you feel so happy. The inspiration behind Symphony was a trip I took to St. Martin, and I was so happy on that Caribbean island. That is exactly how I want people to feel when they wear Symphony. Opera is to my mom. That's my mom in a bottle. My mom is a very nurturing woman. Like growing up, if you come to our house, there's no way you're leaving without drinking or eating something. I don't care if there's no food, you drink water, something. So when you spray opera, I want you to feel nurtured. Again, it's a very elevated floral.
Hmm.
I want you to feel nurtured. Act one, I created Act one because of the need. When I used to go to the office, when I used to have a 9 to 5, and I was told that my fragrances was distracting people. So I wanted to create Act one where it's like, it's not overpowering, but you can still feel me. It
Hmm.
has to feel very calm and serene. Like right now in the summertime, when I wear Act One, I feel like I'm taking a very cool shower. Just
Yeah.
because of the lemon, the thyme, the bergamot in there, it just makes me feel that way. Nocturne is supposed to make you feel the sexiest you've ever felt in your life because I created Nocturne because of the date night I had in Dubai. So it was a sexy date night. I want
Yeah.
you to feel exactly that way. 823, our latest fragrance, you're supposed to feel like timeless luxury. You know, like the
Mhm.
old European money type of money without like you don't gotta do too much, but they know that you're here. That's exactly how you're supposed to feel. So the different emotions, that's exactly how I want people to feel when they smell House Ira.
I love the way that you approach talking about your fragrances. And I think it has a lot to do with the way you describe fragrances with your mom, because you don't use the vocabulary that I think a lot of people fall back on. This smells like raspberry. This smells like, we often go to like food things or situational environmental things,
Yeah.
where if someone truly doesn't have that reference point, you have to go to things that they would have experienced, like textures, emotions, and feelings.
Mhm.
Yeah. To be honest, describing fragrance, I always put at the back of my mind that whoever I'm talking to, probably this is their first time learning anything about fragrance. I cannot come here and talk to somebody who knows nothing about fragrance and we talk about sillage. What is that? You know what I'm saying? Or projection. They probably will not get it, especially in the fragrance lingo. It's like that with
Mhm.
my siblings. Like in our household, everybody, if they're trying to get a fragrance, they call me first. Like, hey, what do you think I should get? Pretty much I pick it for them. I actually love doing that. And describing a scent to them, I have to find the easiest things that they can relate to. I feel like when you're trying to teach somebody or you want somebody to get something very quickly, you have to use words that people can easily relate to. It helps, it sticks forever. For me, that's how I learn. So I just try
Mhm.
to, use that in everything I do with fragrances. Yeah.
Do you find that like the way you approached describing scents to your mom, but also to other people in your life, kind of like a bonding exercise?
Yes. Honestly, one of the best things that, like, let's say if like it's a date night, if you want to make me happy, let's go smelling. Let's go sniff fragrances. I think what was her name? Was it Lily at Stell Michi? The girl? I forgot her name. I am so sorry. I think she had
When
one. I
what
was there.
what
I was there Friday.
Zofia, she had long blonde straight hair?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. She'll tell you. I picked up a fragrance which I went home with. It had fig in it. My
Mm.
face just lit up. Like I was there with a friend and I was so excited to discover everything in there. Like for me, describing fragrances or sniffing fragrances with somebody is like it's a bonding exercise because you and somebody could bond on something, especially if you guys feel exactly the same way about a fragrance.
Mhm.
Imagine me smelling this fragrance and be like, oh my God, I feel like I'm right now in the Maldives. And the person's like, yeah, me too. Girl, what? You want to go on a trip? you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the moment I realized like how passionate you are about fragrance in general is that when you came to the store to bring us your samples and show us your mods and then
Yeah.
you wound up leaving with two bottles. I'm like, "Oh no, she gets it. She's really into this.
Yeah.
This is her
I've
life."
I've worn the hell out of the Hellenes. Like I have just like a small one. Like,
Which one is it by the Hellenist?
oh God, I cannot remember the name. I think it's the one where the gods, the
I think you
people that
got the Artemis, if I remember
yes. I
correctly.
think
Oh,
yes,
Yeah.
okay,
that
yeah,
one.
that one's really pretty.
It's like a very fresh, luminous. It just makes me happy and
Yeah.
calm, if that makes sense. Yeah, I
It's a
just
great
Mhm.
think
scent. So, what do you think fragrance enthusiasts often overlook about smell?
the ability to smell
Mhm.
is very important to your livelihood.
Mhm.
If you were to lose your sense of smell, your quality of life is going to drop drastically. I'm talking from a mental perspective, from a safety perspective, because if you're in the house and there's something burning, you have no idea until it's too late. If there's a gas leak, you have no idea until it's like imagine being in a car and there's a carbon monoxide leak. You don't know
Yeah.
until it's too late. That's what it feels
Mhm.
like. And
Yeah.
even with cooking, during COVID, I lost my sense of smell for 2 months. And that's what pushed me again to do House Ira. I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste. I was extremely miserable because, especially if you love to smell, you can't smell anything. It's like you want to smell, it's like a it's like a block.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people take that for granted because if you're starting to lose your sense of smell, that is a health problem. You need to go to the hospital. It's so sad that insurance doesn't even cover, like, when you go to the hospital for your physicals, they're supposed to check your sense of smell. They don't do that. If you don't ask, they're not going to check it. They just check your sight, if you can hear, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Sense of smell is like, if you're losing your sense of smell, I think that's actually a symptom of Parkinson's disease.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. And there are people who actually lose their sense of smell if they have, like, I think, like a brain injury or something. You can lose your sense of
Mhm.
smell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so fragrance, like, imagine right now when you smell a fragrance, how it transports you. You don't even need anybody to describe it to you. You, it's like you're able to make your decisions by yourself. And then if you lose that sense of smell, somebody's describing to you, mind you, it's secondhand knowledge or secondhand information because they're describing to you what they feel. Remember, fragrance is subjective. There you go. Yeah. So I'll be describing to you what I'm feeling. This could make me feel like I want to cry. I don't like it, but to you, it could have been love. So you have to go based on what I say and just trust me that I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, it's definitely I have a friend who is mostly anosmic, and it happened later in life for him, and he's been quite depressed since it happened because he feels like he can't enjoy a lot of things anymore. Like, he used to really enjoy going out to restaurants and trying new things, and he's like, "Well, I can't
Yeah.
really taste anything because I can't smell anything."
Yes.
He never wore fragrance his entire life, and then at an older age was like, "Well, I don't think I even ever realized that I didn't have a smell." And I'm like, "All right, I'm sending you a bottle." I sent him a bottle. I'm like, "You may not be able to smell it, but you're gonna make a good impression." So it
Yes.
definitely I don't think we realize how much in our everyday life outside of fragrance that our ability to smell is we're just constantly gathering information without always being aware of it. And I
Yeah.
think that's the amazing thing about fragrance is that we have these locked memories that we don't even realize are there because they're from scent, and then we smell something again and it immediately transports us to that place again. I think that's what's so powerful about it for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. You smell something, it reminds you of someplace, somewhere. You smell something, it just reminds you of somebody, you know?
Mhm.
And for me, and again, like Lartisan, at least that's the part of my dad that I have with me. When I
Mhm.
miss him so much, I just smell the bottle. I just smell it. And it just makes me happy. Like, it elevates my mood. Like, okay, he's here with me. We can always be like, okay, he's here with us in spirit, but in that bottle right there, I know that elements of the notes in there, that's him. And so he's here with me, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah. Not being able, because there are people who are anosmic to certain things, like some people cannot smell musk, certain
Mhm.
notes people cannot smell it, and you can only imagine what it feels like for them. And like you said, just walking around and just doing stuff, going about your regular day of life and everything, and being able to smell, you're actually, gathering information. I think in the I think in the 90s or in the 80s, there was this musician. He committed
Mhm.
because he lost his sense of smell and taste. And he became so depressed that he could not leave. He couldn't leave anymore. And he just thought it was best to go.
Yeah. That's sad.
Because you approach fragrance with such a kind of emotional intuitiveness, you want to talk about how it makes you feel or what it makes you remember. How do you evaluate a fragrance when if you're smelling something for the first time? Do you read a description or the notes, or do you just go in to see how it works?
I go in to see how it works. Like, as soon as I spray, I don't even spray it on the test strip. I want to smell like that immediately before I'm spraying on the test strip. As soon as I smell it, if I am not transported somewhere, I already know that, okay, that fragrance is not for me. Like, that is the first way that I evaluate a fragrance. The fragrance has to tell a story. Either it reminds me of something in the past, or something currently happening, or it makes me want to do something for the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can smell a fragrance and it's like, oh my God, I need to be a billionaire's wife.
Yeah.
Oof, I need to make money. Or you smell a fragrance, it's like, oh my gosh, I remember back then XYZ, XYZ. Like, for me, that pretty much that's it.
Yeah. I had a really bizarre experience when I was in Essence 2 weeks ago, a
Mm-hmm.
week ago. And I smelled a fragrance, and for the first time, a fragrance actually made me feel uncomfortable and like almost triggered fight or flight for me.
Oh my
Which
God.
one?
It was from this brand called Tombstone, and the bottles literally look like tombstones. And I had no preconceived notion going into it. I'm like, all right, these are probably going to be kind of, kind of alternative. And I smelled through all of them, but there was one in particular, and I don't remember which one, but it made me physically uncomfortable. It didn't smell bad. It wasn't a bad odor, but it just moved something in me that was like, I need to go. I need to leave.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Honestly,
Yeah.
for me, that is when I smell anything with marine notes in there, I feel that way. It makes
Yeah.
me so uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, but it triggers something in my brain, and I'm just like, ugh.
I know our friend Sarah has a strong aversion to anything with a blood note, but that is because she works in the medical field.
Yeah.
And she's
Oh,
like, no, I don't need this. I don't need this around me. I don't need this on my skin.
I
I mean,
also
obviously she
never.
smells it every freaking day.
Yeah.
It's like you want to smell like something different. And one thing I didn't tell you guys is when you lose your sense of smell,
Mhm.
especially for more than a week, when it comes back, you have to train your sense of smell.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's been 6 years now. I am still training my sense of smell.
I think that's a great segue. What does nose training actually look like? What does that regiment look like for you?
So for me, what it looked like was when I couldn't smell, the first thing I smelled to make me realize that my sense of smell is back was thyme.
Mm.
So thyme and bleach. Those are the two things I smelled crazy. Um, every time I smelled anything at the time that smelled really nice, it smelled like thyme. And when something was really horrible, it smelled like bleach.
Yeah, I am a longtime sinus infection sufferer. If anyone else has an ENT doc that they've been to,
Yeah.
whenever I get sick, I can usually tell because stuff starts to smell like old socks to me.
Oh,
Ooh.
And that's when I'm like, I need to get some antibiotics because I'm about to
yeah.
get real sick.
Yep. See, that honestly, that is it right there. You're like your body is speaking to you. I had to train my nostrils to certain like you train your nostrils or your sense of smell constantly smelling the same thing over and over and over, and however or whatever emotion transmits through your body, that is how you train it. It's like a
Mhm.
child when you're small and the first time your parents give you lime or lemon, the first time it touches your tongue, you have that emotion of like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? And constantly when you eat it, you taste it, all of a sudden the tartness or the sourness is okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's like sugar, like something sweet. Like the first time a child tastes something sweet, like they have that bright smile on their face. And again, that of course that is easy to gravitate towards, but constantly you have to keep training your nostrils and basically how it makes you feel, that's what transmits to your brain. I don't think I had an issue. Actually, let me stop. Seafood. I never really liked seafood before just because of how it smelled. But then I found a way to kill the smell. If I'm eating fish or whatever, I wash it with vinegar or lemon. It kills that sea whatever, whatever. And up until now, and that's why if I smell anything marine or sea, what I can't. Like
Yeah.
it just makes me I need to probably use the bathroom. Like I feel like I need to, throw up. So
Yeah. It's definitely a rough note for a lot of people, I think.
yeah.
So in considering all of this about, what it's like to lose your sense of smell, and are there has it influenced you, do you think, to think about accessibility in your fragrances?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Honestly, the first thing I think of when I'm creating a fragrance is somebody who cannot smell. How can we make them know or understand what is in this bottle? Like 823 right now, when you smell 823, you see. when you first spray it, it smells a certain way. As it starts to dry down to the hard notes and then the base notes, it's like changing colors. Think of like the top note, you have like orange, and then you have pink for the smoothie, for the raspberry smoothie, and then you have white with the Bavaria flower, and then you go into the middle notes and you have a lot of white in there, and then as soon as you go to the base notes, there's damson plum, which is purple, mahogany wood, which is kind of like brown. It's like bouncing colors because you're feeling all of the smells. If I was to describe that to my mom, I would just put colors in front of her and just keep bouncing. I'm like, this is what it smells like. And also like the story behind it, I try to make sure that whatever the story is, that's exactly what you have in that bottle because it's going to evoke that emotion or something close to that emotion.
Side note, I love that you used Shelby as the face for this fragrance. Absolutely adore her so much. She is such a beautiful person inside and out.
Can I tell you guys how it came to happen? I
Yeah,
love
tell
that
us.
story.
Big
So
shout out to Shelby. We love you.
I know, I love Shelby. I met Shelby in 2024, Sen Explore,
Mhm.
and when she walked up to the booth, I just kept staring because I couldn't help it.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not better than a man because I'm like, who is this goddess? Like this tall, beautiful girl just walks up and I'm just staring and she's talking. I'm actually lost in what she's saying. First day at Sen Explore, I'm nervous as hell, but I'm just like mesmerized. And then when I got back from South of France last year, I knew what I wanted to create. Initially, it was going to be a tea fragrance. I wanted like a tea fragrance. And I walked through the fragrance house. They were not giving me exactly what I wanted because I'm very particular. Like I said, I have
Mhm.
to go on a journey. And the journeys that they were taking me to, it was nowhere near where I wanted to go. So I was like, no. And then when Rodrigo Flores, when I gave him the brief and all, and I went for the sniff session, he gave me 6 mods. I smelled through each of them. The first 5 were okay. They had gardenia flower and all that. I was like, yeah, this is nice. But it was not hitting it exactly for me. As soon as I smelled that was one and done. I was like, yeah, you're not touching it. It's perfect. It's exactly what I want. And Set Explorer in December, I've been thinking, I'm like, okay, I know how I want the campaign to be, but who's gonna be the person? Because it's my story that I'm telling, but I don't want to be the person. There's somebody that I have in mind. I'm at the booth. And Shelby walks up again. As soon as she walks up, I had an epiphany. I told her, I was like, Shelby, I think you're going to be the face of my next campaign. She thought I was kidding. She's like, sure, girl, we're going to do it. She thought I was joking.
Yeah.
After Sun Explorer, 2 days later, I DM'd her. I was like, hey, remember what I told you? I am so serious. She's like, you serious? I'm like, yes, girl. She's like, okay. I was like, well, we're just working on the fragrance. Once it's completed, we have the creative brief and we put everything together and we have a date as to when we're going to release. Then I'm going to circle back. But I just need you to know, put me in your calendar for this year. And she executed everything exactly the way I imagined it to the T. I have watched that campaign video a million times. And every time I watch it, I get very emotional because you can tell exactly what is in the bottle because everything she did is exactly what is in the bottle. My mom tells me she wakes up in the middle of the night. If she has nothing to do, she will watch that campaign because it helps her. I was like, this is mama approved, period. Nobody can tell me anything.
It is very Dior J'adore. Like I know the first image I saw of it was the one where she's like turned to the side holding the bottle, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Who is this model?" And then I was like, "Oh,
period.
I actually follow her."
I know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelly is amazing. She's a gorgeous queen. Like, that is a
She is.
goddess.
Yeah, she is. And like I said, just as gorgeous on the inside as she is on the outside too, which is
Absolutely.
amazing.
The first day I showed Shelby's pictures to my team, everybody went crazy that day on the call.
Mhm.
They're like, oh my God. I was like, yes, yes, and
Yeah.
yes.
I will say that there was a time when I, started going to some of my first like brand events in the city. Oftentimes it can feel, especially as a smaller creator going into those spaces, it can feel very clicky and can feel very difficult to connect with people. Like, and it's very parasocial. Like, okay, I've seen these people online, but they don't really know
Yeah.
who I am. I don't really know who they are. But one of the first people that like really made me feel embraced and like came up to me and was like, "Hey, I recognize your content," like, like, and started chatting with me like and about life in general was Shelby, and like she immediately made me
Yeah.
feel really comfortable in that space. And anytime I ever see her, she's always just such a ray of sunshine. So yeah, we
Yeah,
can't say enough positive things about Shelby.
I know. She's just super amazing, you know, and I just hope and pray that she continues to blossom in this space. Because when she
Yeah.
told us that we were her first fragrance campaign ever, I was like, girl, thank you for giving me that honor.
Aw.
Okay. I feel
Yeah.
so proud. Like,
All right.
hell yes. Hell yes. But yeah, she's an amazing human being, like inside and
Yeah.
out. Very gorgeous and beautiful.
You talked a little bit about the specific fragrances in House of Iyrah, and you mentioned briefly that it was after during COVID, after you recovered from your anosmia, that you were like, we need to push this forward. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about how House of Iyrah was conceived and what was that evolution like?
So when I lost my sense of smell, during that period, I wore fragrance out of memory. I remembered how a certain fragrance made me feel, and then I wore the fragrance. And then it hit me that I'm actually walking in my mother's shoes. This is exactly how she feels. The only issue is the memory she has is of me describing the fragrance to her, so she gets to wear it. At least I have firsthand memory of what it smelled like. So when my sense of smell came back, I was like, I wonder what it's like for people out there who don't smell. What does it feel like for them? Because I'll be honest with you, growing up, I didn't know that that was a thing. Anosmia was a thing. In my opinion, that was a unique feature that my mother had that I would always proudly say, like, "Hey, my mom can smell," you know. So I didn't know that there were people out there. And then COVID actually exposed that to me, where I met a lot of people who were anosmic or people who could not smell. And I'm like, I wonder how these people wear fragrances. And I did some research, and at the time, a lot of brands were not very inclusive of people who have issues with their olfactory senses. It was more catered towards those who can smell. And I'm
Mm,
like, what about those who cannot smell? I can imagine how they must feel left out. And I'm
mhm,
like, I want to create something where everybody, regardless of whether you can smell or not, you will feel as like a part of it because of the story behind the fragrance. That's something for you to connect with. Because again, from personally, I feel like besides what you smell, you have to connect beyond that with that fragrance to actually continuously reach for it, you know? And that's why I feel like a lot of people, when they buy a fragrance just because it smells than somebody else, they end up not reaching for it, especially if you collect a lot, because it's just like you bought that because it smelled good on somebody. What else is the connection?
yeah. Yeah.
So, when I started House of Ira, we started as Ira Lux Oils. I wanted to start like in my mind, the vision I had was like a body care routine. At that time I was not on TikTok. I didn't even know I had TikTok, but I just never went on it because I didn't know how to use it. It was just too much for me. I didn't know that people knew about oils in my mind because I used to wear oils, body butter, and do all of that. And my friends and family and everybody would always compliment me, like, you always smell so good. It's like, what are you wearing? And I'm like, damn, where do I start? But anyways, we started as Irelux oils. It was like really small, very chic, and we had these oils, and it wasn't pushing as much as I wanted because I felt like a lot of people didn't know about oils at the time, and this was in 2022. Oils
Mm,
were not yet a thing like it is right now, and people did not get the concept. And for me, I was very heavy in oils. Like the oils will make my fragrances last all day. I don't have to worry about it. But then the plan was always we're gonna do oils, fragrances, and maybe body butter, shower gel. It was just supposed to be the whole 9 yards that is like a one-stop shop. That's always been the vision, still is.
mm,
Um, but then I was like, okay, if we're gonna move on to phase two, which is fragrances, there's no way I can be calling myself Irolox Oils because then I've boxed myself in there. There's no way you be saying you're a fragrance brand and then oils. We have to change that around. And I was like, okay, fine, we're gonna call it House of Iyer. I was playing with many names. I was like Casa de Ira and da 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 da.
mhm,
Again, for those who don't know, Ira is from Samira. It's like the last four of my name, Samira, because people spell my name differently. Some people spell with a Y, some people with an I, some people put an H in the back, and I just took all the different ways that people spell my name, and that's where Ira comes from. So I was like, okay, we're gonna change. and we rebranded in 2023. And we started working on our first fragrance. Our first fragrance was L'artisan, and we launched that in 2024, April 2024. Actually, I think it was like a couple of days before the day my dad passed away. We launched that. So again, that was why it was so special for me. And then by then, we had already worked on Nocturne and Symphony, but I wasn't ready to launch it yet, just because I needed to see how L'artisan did first. And then later that year, we launched Nocturne and Symphony. And then obviously last year we did Act One Opera, and now H3.
Yeah.
So
That's a really astounding amount of growth in the past 3 years. Um, yeah, I remember coming to your launch party for opera in the city last year. It's really great to see how far you've come in such a short amount of time, because I think the response from your fragrances has really been wonderful. Has that um I remember smelling you first at, I believe, 2024. Scent Explorer was my first time smelling your fragrances.
yeah,
And I think within a month of that, House of Iyrah was like the talk of TikTok.
yes, yes. I'll be honest, and I'll always say this: I give credit to Scent Explorer. Um, in 2024, I didn't know what to expect. To be honest, I applied for Scent Explorer. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna apply. What is the worst that could happen? If they say no, cool. We just
Right.
keep it pushing. But at least I tried. And then on my birthday, I remember I went out with my friends. I came back. I fell asleep on the couch. I woke up the next morning, still had makeup on my face. I was about to go shower. And then I see an email. Mind you, I had put in this application since March, and I got a response in August.
Oh my
I
gosh.
had given up. I was like, they probably wouldn't take me, so it is what it is. And then I got a response in August on my birthday. And I'm looking, it says an explore. It says, hey, you have been accepted, but before it's like a conditional acceptance, we need to smell your stuff first
Hmm.
before we give you the final acceptance. I was like, absolutely. I sent examples of everything that we had. And then Max sent me an email. He's like, absolutely, hell yes. I need to hop on a call with you. I cried my eyes. So okay, I'm a very emotional person. A lot of people will see me and probably not know that, but I'm extremely emotional because when something is not going well for me, I'll cry to feel better. When something is going well for me, I'll cry, to celebrate. And I I didn't get this way up until late in my life. Before, you would never find me crying because I felt like back then it's like if you cry, you're weak, and I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
weak. So
Look at this
I cried my
emotional
eyes.
growth.
I know. And I'm grateful for that because
Yeah.
being vulnerable is a sign of maturity.
Hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you're being vulnerable not because you're weak, it's just because you're in tune with that emotion and you're not avoiding it. Because if you avoid it, it's like putting band-aid on the wound without putting any antibiotics. One day it's gonna burst open and a lot of pus will come out and you will cry your eyes out. It's happened to me before. So when I feel the urge to cry, baby, I will cry me a river and then wipe my eyes off and I feel way better. And Max said, yes, honestly, I did not know what to expect. I kept doubting and like, should I do it? Should I do it? Because at the time, setting school was like 9 grand, 10 grand. I was like, I'm just starting. That's a lot. Should I do this? Should I not do this? And I was like, you know what? It's a risk. I'll take that risk. Who knows? I didn't know what to expect. And then we went to explore. I think we were the only Black female owned brand
Wow.
there. A lot of people were coming to our booth because of that. And
Hmm.
I'm glad that they were not disappointed because what they met, they were not expecting it. And it was astounding, if I say so myself. And obviously, the storytelling, a lot of people were really happy with the customer service at the booth. Mind you, I took my two cousins and we went. I was like, because I didn't know what to expect. I was like, let's go. And we went, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Um, Meeting people, especially people I've been seeing online and seeing them in person, and it's just like, hey. And for me, I didn't even care about making sales. I just wanted people to hear my story, hear the story, hear about the brand, and then if you connect with it, then do what you need to do, but just hear about it. that was my main goal. And after Zen Explore, I think we sold out of everything that we brought to Zen Explore, and
Amazing.
people were purchasing online. And after Zen Explore, the next day I was flying out because I booked my flight ticket to early the next day because I didn't know what to expect. And I got on the plane. I was starting to get emotional. I was like, nope, not here, not here, not here, not here. I don't want to have to explain to my neighbor what's going on. As soon as I walked through my front door, I didn't get up the stairs. I just sat on the stairs and I burst into tears. I think I cried for 3 hours straight
Mm,
because it was just more like, I cannot believe this because we did such an amazing job and everybody really, really, really liked what we had to show. I think I presented an award to Max Aroma as well. I was like, me? You guys picked me? And it's like everybody just kept saying like your energy, your energy. And I'm like, and actually, after Sun Expo, I think 4 days later, I had to fly out to Dubai because I needed to just go for a break. It was a really hard year for me. And I was in Dubai for 2 weeks and the orders just kept coming in. And I'm just like, oh my God, nobody's stopping, you know? And honestly, from there, it just took off. You know, like I feel like every year it just keeps getting better and better, and the community just keeps increasing. And I'm just so grateful for it.
it's
So,
amazing.
yeah. Yeah, because last year was even worse. Like my booth was so full. It's like a lot of people told me like they came to my booth, they couldn't because it was so full. Like we
Oh
were at the
yeah.
end, but it was extremely full. And I'm just like, y'all love me.
I barely even got to say hi to you last year.
Yeah. I was like, y'all love me. And then we launched 823. It's been a week, and Michi, we pretty much almost sold.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. That's amazing. Congrats.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's really cool to see someone take the risk on something they believe in and for it to pay off.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. It's amazing to see that. Like I'm so glad that I bet on myself and I did not say no.
Yeah, what are some of the values that you wanted House of Ira to embody?
The first thing is community. My team will tell you that. I'm like community, 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 community. Because for me, I have the belief that your community will always support you and they will also always hold you accountable. How you treat them is very important. First impression, people will never forget how you treat them. I think there's a saying in life, when
Mhm.
you meet people, leave them better than you met them. And so for me, that is very important. So, first things first, first values, community. And that is what I'm focused on. Before anything, is the community because we're being ourselves. We have our brand values and whatever it is. I just know that our people who resonate with us, they find us, and that's how, we have a community. And for me, growing up in an African household, being very welcoming is something that I was brought up with. Like I grew up with people who I'm not related to, but they became family because they grew up in our house. And like if my mom or my dad saw you were struggling, it's like, okay, what can I do to help? Sure, we have an extra bedroom, come stay. That pretty much that's how I grew up. And when I came to the US and the first time I saw people homeless in the streets, and I was like, I remember so well. I had like $100 in my pocket. I was with my sister and her husband. I was like, look at the homeless man right there. Hold on, I want to give him some. And they're like, girl, you better keep that money in your pocket. You're gonna see a lot of them because that's uncommon for us back home. You know, like people stay with you, they don't have to pay you nothing. It's just because you just want to help them and give them a better life. So community is very important to me. Um, secondly, uh, being true to ourselves, right? My background and who I am right now as a person, I wanted to be reflective of House Ira. I'm always going to stand my ground. I don't jump on trends. We try not to jump on trends at House Ira. It's like, I just feel like be your authentic self. Just be yourself, be authentic. In a world where everybody's trying to change and be something about certain aesthetic, just be yourself. Create your own thing. People who love you for who you are will come to you and they will follow you. And then um Discernment. Discernment. I have so many stories that I can tell you guys. When you're a new brand owner, there are sharks out there who just want to come in and claw into you because they know that you have no idea.
Mhm.
Have
Yep.
to be very discerning of people and whatever contract you're signing. You have to be. You have to think it through. I always say this to myself. It's not every opportunity that you're presented with that you jump at it. That's how you get poisoned.
Hmm.
It's okay
Yep.
sometimes to just pass up that drink. Drink some water. You don't have to take the shot every time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be discerning. For me, I believe in God. I understand that people have their different beliefs. I pray every day for wisdom and discernment because this is the first time I'm doing something like this. My background is in AI and cybersecurity. I have never owned a brand. I've helped brands bring their projects to fruition. This is the first time that I am doing this. There's certain decisions that I have to make where I doubt myself. But
Mhm.
one thing I know from my background is I consult with my team. I don't make a decision because I'm CEO and I'm founder. No. I will always consult with my team and be like, yeah, what are your thoughts, guys? And based on what they tell me, I take it back and I sit down and I discern on it. Like I think about it. And obviously I have the final say. But at least I consulted because somebody might say something that you were not thinking of. And it could help you make a better decision.
Yeah. We're I'm glad you have Sophia on your team now as well, who is amazing. And if I would recommend her to any brand who is looking for somebody to help with their social media, to help with their marketing, she's wonderful. Shout
You
out to
can see
Sophia. We love you.
you can see the smile on my face. I love Sophia. I love her. Like I don't know what we would do without her, but I appreciate her so much. I love the fact that she keeps me grounded and she holds me extremely accountable. And and she's very patient. I love
Yeah,
that about her. And she knows her stuff. Very knowledgeable.
very.
Very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
She's in my opinion, she's one of the best in the game. And I like the way she holds me accountable and she's in this business. It's nice to have people you trust and people
Mhm.
who are genuine. And Sophia is one of those people because if you don't trust people, you can't work with them. If I don't trust you, I can't work with you because I'm gonna doubt everything you tell me, and that's how we're gonna keep clashing. So I'm glad that at least I have Sophia and my other team members that if I see something, I'm gonna ask because sometimes my judgment can be very screwed just because of probably my background and my experiences in life. I always like to consult with other people to see what they've seen, like what they know, and then we put it together and see how we can, move forward.
Yeah. I think it's you bring up a really important issue that I think is something that we try to delve into sometimes, but like it could get very litigious. But there you said it, there are a lot of people as soon as they know you have a fragrance brand that are looking to just to chomp at you and like this person must have money, let me get whatever I can out of this.
Fresh
And
feet.
so keeping that in mind, what's some advice you would give to somebody who's starting a brand and like how to discern who to trust, who to let in?
One of the most important things I feel like anybody should have, you need to have a mentor.
Mhm.
A mentor is somebody that you can use as a sounding board. This person is not on your team. This mentor is somebody who has experience in the field that you're getting in. Obviously, your experience will be different from theirs, but the advice that they can give you can help shape your experiences. There are going to be some rough days. Everything's never going to be smooth sailing, but on the days where it's rough, you will call your mentor and your mentor will give you certain advice on how to move forward.
Yeah,
Having
it's
a
very important.
mentor is very important because that's why you go to school. That's why you go to
Mhm.
school and your teacher has to teach you and you get to take all these exams and stuff like that. If we knew it all, then we're not going to go to school. We're just going to have it. But you go to school because somebody with experience and knowledge is teaching you and sharing the experience with you. That will help shape your experience. And that's how you pass it forward.
If someone out there heard that and says, "Oh, I need a mentor," like there are so many people that we've interviewed, there are so many people that have their own independent brands and things like that that are not trying to gatekeep this information. They are part of this
Mm.
ecosystem and this community. Um, Shoot your shot. They might say they don't have time, or they're going to take you under their wing.
Yeah.
The truth is, don't get offended if somebody tells you they don't have time. Because truly, you don't have time. I'll be honest with you, I feel like 24 hours is not enough for me anymore. I quit my full-time job
Oh my God.
because
Amazing.
House of Iyrah is becoming a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm talking to you guys. We are working on our next release, and we're already working on the releases for next year. It's a lot.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
it
It's a
is.
lot. Next week,
Yeah.
I'm going to California. I'm trying to put things together. See, like I'm right here with you guys. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So you don't get offended. The right person, f- the right person will be like, you know what? I have time for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like I have two mentors right now, Chris Collins and Makeda, CEO of Brown Sugar Babe. Shout out to them. They've been super, super amazing and
Shout out to
helping
them.
me.
Amazing.
These are people who are extremely busy. They're
Hmm.
running $1 million companies. And it's because of how pushful I am and just who I am. And I'm just like, I don't care if you can give me 5 minutes, but hey, I have this problem. And then, you know what? I'm going to take you and mentor you. I'm going to mentor. And for me, I'm like, I was lucky for that. For me, I'm always happy to share my knowledge. I've always shared my knowledge. Like if I meet another brand and I see you doing certain things that I've done before, if you ask me for my opinion, I will happily give you. And I'm telling like, hey, you don't have to take my advice, but at least see things from this perspective. It could help you decide how you want to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, obviously you have to be discerning of who is giving you advice. Like what are their motives and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Chris Collins and Brown Sugar Babe are two amazing people to be working with.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
recently got into Brown Sugar Babe and I'm completely obsessed. And I've known
Good for
Chris
you,
now for a
girl.
couple yeah, I've known Chris now for a couple of years and absolutely adore him so much.
See, I keep my brown sugar bit on.
I have my samples down here. I'm like, I can't decide which one to get a full size bottle of because they're all
Girl,
incredible. Incredible. And I
honestly,
have like 10 Chris Collins.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that I'm officially in my gourmand era, I need to get Brown Sugar Babe because I
Oh,
hear
yes.
nothing but fantastic things, and
You
Yeah.
I'm
know
ready.
what? They just released something for the guys.
Mhm.
I would definitely highly recommend check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, check
Yeah.
that out. I promise you, this. I took some for my brother and then I kept some for myself. I'm like, yeah,
Well, yeah, you
I
have the
need
Nivea,
this.
the white, and the blue. You gotta have.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, you get it. You need that. Like I wore brown sugar bake today. Today, what did I wore? I wore this thing I got from Stell. I wore that, and then I wore brown sugar bake. I think it's called Clean Street or something. And
Mm.
I got so many compliments when I went to drop off packages and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you smell good. I went to the grocery store and she's like, oh, you smell so good.
So funny. When we came to Fumed, now I had no idea that you, Chris, and Brown Sugar Babe were all, connected. But my first day scent combo was Perfection from Brown Sugar Babe, layered with Act One, and then layered with Sunset and Tamarindo from Chris Collins. I had all three on. It's
Period.
actually one of my favorite combos at the moment.
Yes. Yes. You know what? Layer that with African Roboys. Act one and African Roboys.
Oh,
Ah,
could be good.
That's a
baby.
great, yeah.
Yes.
I have both
Yes.
versions too. I have the regular and I have the intense.
Excuse you. Layer them together and I promise you, yes, that
That's gonna be
combo
my scent
will
of the
be
day
good.
tomorrow, and I'm gonna text you and let you know.
Yes.
Good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, moving towards our closing ritual. Obviously you're very busy, like you mentioned, getting ready for Scentfest. You're preparing for a new release. Is there anything that you're looking forward to that you want to share here, or is it all under wraps for the moment?
Okay, Sophia, don't kill me. Sophia, don't kill me. Sophia, I love you. I do know, I would say this. One thing about House of Iyrah, we listen to our community. We listen. They've been asking, they've been asking, we're going to deliver. There's going to be something for everybody.
I love it.
And good things come in all sizes.
Yeah.
Just enough information. Just
Just enough.
enough.
But yeah, don't kill her. I am very excited about this release. I'm excited about the next one too. I got to smell a mod with you. I think they're
Yes,
both
you did. You did. You
fantastic.
did.
Yeah, so in closing, just like talking about, the new scent, I want to give you a chance um to really, bring us through it. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's Rodrigo. Rodrigo is the master of florals, and there are some very interesting florals in this one that I've never smelled before. So can
Yeah.
you tell us about the two florals that are really, I don't think I've ever seen them in a fragrance before.
I know. So the Bavaria flower, and Bavaria flower is of Mexican origin. I
Mhm.
think that that is a flower where when you're getting married and stuff like that, a lot of them hold that. And plus, Bavaria flower is supposed to be like if orange blossom and gardenia had a child, that would give you
Mm.
Bavaria flower. And then Caro Carunde, he chose Caro Carunde because of my West African background. And
Love it.
obviously, Caro Carunda is a very beautiful white floral that helps
Mhm.
to enhance the fruits and not make it too. Because to be honest, white florals can be very screechy and powdery. So Caro Carunda gives you that perfect balance, if I may. So it
Yeah.
helps to enhance the jasmine and the tuberose that you see in there.
Yeah. This is for the floral lovers for sure. You have to love tuberose, you have to love jasmine. It's it's a Rodrigo. It's
You know what's interesting about this fragrance? Everybody who smelled this fragrance, even those who I didn't think this was gonna be for them,
Mhm.
they love it.
Yeah.
Like myself, I am so in love with this fragrance. Lord help me God. There's something about it.
Yeah. I remember when you let me smell the mod and it was between this and another one. I said, "Nope. Nope.
Yes.
This is it."
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yep. I'm like, it's just it's extremely gorgeous. You know, especially right now, this time of the year. If I was getting married, that is the flower, that is the fragrance I want to wear on my wedding day. Like it's so special. It's just so sexy in a good way, and it goes well on a man as well as on a woman.
I love that.
Um, but yeah, 823 is very special for me just because that's my date of birth. And shout out to all the Virgos. Hey. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Like Rodrigo, he is an amazing perfumer, very talented.
Mhm.
I love a lot of his scents that he's done for other houses, like what's this? Like Nocturnality that he did for Arquis.
Yeah,
I
Arquise.
love that one. I think he did Espirito for House of Bo. I love that one as well. And other um fragrances that he's done. So when he did this for us, his energy, first of all, the day I met him in person, because we had a lot of video chats, and then I told him I was going to come down and smell in person, just because it was important for him to see my body language and my reaction. Because honestly,
Mhm.
my face don't lie; it would tell you exactly how I'm feeling, you know. So it's important for him to see that, I really appreciate it, or if it was not for me, then whatever. So it worked out, and I'm so glad. Like he's been the sweetest of all. So I think he will actually be working on some of our fragrances for next year. So definitely stay tuned.
Exciting.
Yes, yes, yes.
What conversations are you hoping that your brand encourages?
I want my brand to continue to encourage everybody to feel empowered to be a better version of themselves. I'm somebody who I am very big on change. You know, you're not stuck there. You just need to get up and move places a little bit. I want House of Iyrah to continue to inspire people that they can be whatever it is that they put their mind to it. I'm just one person. And for me, I like really nice things. And House of Iyrah cost me a lot. It cost me a whole lot. And to see where the brand is, sometimes I still pinch myself and I'm so much in disbelief. And I can just see how far the brand is growing and growing. And I just want somebody to look at me and be inspired and know that, you know what, if she did it, I can do it. Use me as a North Star, yardstick, whatever it is that you want to do in a good way where it's like, if she could do it, this gives me hope that I can do it. And I always tell people, please do not compare yourself with the next person. You see our fingers, they're not equal. They're very uneven. And that's because everybody has a lane and a path that they're going through. You will continue to move on your lane. Sometimes you will not get what you want because you're probably not ready for it. Everything that is happening right now is preparing you for where you're headed to. Appreciate it. When you're comparing, you're robbing yourself of the moment of everything that you're going through. So, if anything, I just want everybody to get that. Like, I never compare myself with any other brand. I'm just focused right there, and I'm
Mhm.
just looking forward to what can we do next? What can we do next? Because I just know everything will fall in place as needed. And one more thing,
Yeah,
spread
tell us.
love. Spread
Yes.
love in the fragrance community. Ha! Love. Love one another. It's not that serious. It's scented water. It's
Yeah.
scented water. It is scented water. Scented water.
I think we
That's
leave it
it.
with that. Spread
Yeah.
love.
Spread love.
Thank you so much for the time this evening.
Spread love the way you spray your fragrances. Like,
Yes.
love. Love. Everybody gets love. You get love. You get love. We all get love.
I think it's a beautiful message. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate being on this chair and talking to y'all. And I always watch y'all's podcast. So it's really, really
Oh.
amazing. And it's nice to see the chemistry that you guys have. Very, very amazing. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for joining us. And if you have not checked out 823, if you have not checked out House of Iyrah yet, what are you doing? Samira, where can people find you?
If you're looking for us, we are online. First of all, www.houseofiyrah.com. You can find us there. We're on social media, TikTok, House of Iyrah, Instagram, House of Iyrah, Snapchat, House of Iyrah, YouTube, House of Iyrah, anything, House of Iyrah. And then, how would you want this gorgeous bottle to be sitting on your nightstand? Like, see, and you can hold it like this and it just stands right there. Like, how many of your favorite brands can do this?
Not
Hey,
many, surprisingly.
very gorgeous, Um, it comes in 100 ml, and you have the travel size, the 12 mLs. You know, you can have both. You can have this or that. I mean, either one. And we are currently in physical locations. So on our website, if you go to where it says stockist, you will see everybody who carries House of Iyrah. So this is a stockist right here. Many more to come. Many more to come. Many more to come.
Love it.
Excellent. Thank you. And if you enjoyed listening to this and you want to hear more from us, please remember to like and subscribe. If you comment and share, it helps us reach new audiences. So thank you so much, and we
Absolutely.
will see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.